Bad weather is causing havoc across the world. In India's southern state of Kerala, 27 people have been killed in flash floods and landslides. The districts of Alleppey, Ernakulam and Kozhikode are the worst affected. The non-stop rain isn't helping things at all. Authorities have had to resort to unprecedented measures in opening the floodgates of 24 dams in the state. This includes Asia's biggest arch dam, that is the Idukki Dam, which has been opened after 26 long years. Now, Kerala's coast has been the worst hit this monsoon. Since June, flooding and landslides have claimed 175 lives and damaged crops worth nearly $50 million. The Met Department says Kerala has received 100 millimeters of rainfall in the last 24 hours alone, the highest amount in the last 50 years. The state's chief minister chaired an emergency cabinet meeting and described the situation as extremely grave.
Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, NDRF, Military Engineering Service, ഇവയുടെയെല്ലാം സേവനം ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്.
Thousands of people have been evacuated so far. The Army and the NDRF are concentrating on rescuing people from areas that have been cut off due to the widespread flooding. Well, that's just the south of India. Up north, hundreds of homes have been damaged after a cloud burst over a village in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The phenomenon triggered flash floods and mud flows in the Leh district, leading to the evacuation of hundreds of residents. The police, along with local volunteers and personnel from the Indo-Tibetan Border Police and the state's Disaster Response Fund, began a clearing up operation almost immediately.
Until the debris is cleared out from the house and the residents can come back to get settled in the house, we have made rehabilitation arrangements by forming a camp for them in a school down the valley. The affected families will be provided with ration, bedding and other necessary items. And apart from that, there are families who want to move to the rehabilitation camp as precaution till the forecast is better. So we have made arrangements for them too, to assure that there is no loss of life.
Elsewhere in Asia, at least 8 people have been killed after a sudden mountain torrent struck WION city in China's northwest on Friday. Now, blocked roads, flooded houses and multiple car accidents were reported from the region. Firefighters had to march on foot to carry out rescue operations at a flooded driving school. Another 30 stranded residents were brought to safety from a flooded village. This even as authorities responded to multiple reports of collisions along the local highway. Now, the local government has launched a level 3 warning for flood control in the area. Meanwhile, torrential rainfall in Tibet's Rinbung County caused a massive landslide which clogged one of the main expressways in the region. Traffic snarls followed, however, no injuries were reported. Meanwhile, severe flooding in the Guizhou area has inundated several homes. But first, take a look at these pictures on your screen of that landslide in the Tibetan region. Right, so there were, of course, situations taking place in China. We already pointed out what's going on in India. But now let's head to Europe. After the sweltering heat, France is now grappling with flash floods, furious flash floods at that, leading to the evacuation of more than 1,600 people from campsites across the southern part of the country. The region of Gard was hit badly. 2 main rivers there burst their banks, forcing the evacuation of children from a local vacation camp. Miraculously, only 1 person has been reported missing so far, a 70-year-old German tourist who was ironically helping supervise the evacuation of 100 children from one of these campsites. Authorities have confirmed that the missing man's caravan was swept away by flood waters. You can see how fast they were raging alongside roads in the region in any case. Meanwhile, at least 10 people have been hospitalized with minor injuries and hypothermia.
Oh là là là. Oh putain, regarde-moi ça.
The situation continues to be dire though. Some areas of central and southern France have already received as much as 4 inches of rain in less than 3 hours. Helicopters were being used to spot affected campsites and rescue those trapped in the gushing waters. More than 400 firefighters and police officers have been roped in for these rescue and relief efforts. So while parts of Europe and Asia are grappling with wet weather, in California, the wildfires continue to rage. A total of 10 people have now been killed, even as the state of emergency continues to remain in force. California's governor announced that emergency on Thursday, with a total of 20 wildfires continuing to ravage parts of the state. The latest victim was a heavy equipment mechanic who was assigned to the car fire. That particular blaze near the city of Redding has already claimed 7 lives, including those of 2 firefighters. Now, it remains the deadliest of the 20 burning across the state. However, officials have managed to contain 48% of the fire, which started way back on the 23rd of July. Meanwhile, the Ferguson fire, which has forced the partial closure of the Yosemite National Park, has claimed the lives of 2 people. The Holy Fire, which rapidly spread across the Cleveland National Forest area, is threatening thousands of homes and has prompted mass evacuations. The fires have gotten where they have thanks to a combination of lethal factors, including but not limited to an extremely warm July and years of drought that have left the underbrush primed for burning. So much so that the wildfires have scorched more than 600,000 acres of Californian land this year alone. Before we close out our segment on bad weather, we'll head quickly to Chile as well, where a popular ski region is on high alert after the mountain slopes surrounding a volcano there began to rumble. Now, these slopes surrounding the Nevados volcano are in imminent danger as a new eruption at the Nicanor volcano sent a column of ash 4,000 feet into the air. Local authorities in the towns downhill from the volcano have been working on emergency contingency plans in the event of a larger eruption. This volcano in Chile has erupted about a dozen times since 1861.
Este proceso puede durar bastantes años, tiene registros históricos que han durado alrededor de 40 años en el principio del siglo, entonces es algo que va en constante evolución, pero según lo que se viene observando hacia el último tiempo, lo que se espera es que se continúe manteniendo explosiones como lo que se ha visto en los últimos tiempos.
Right, let's move on to other news now. It was the first high-level contact between India and Pakistan since the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's congratulatory telephone call to Pakistan's Prime Minister-elect Imran Khan. We're talking about the Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan, Ajay Bisaria, along with his deputy JP Singh, meeting Imran Khan at his Banigala residence. The meeting lasted about 28 minutes. The Indian envoy gifted Mr. Khan a bat signed by the Indian cricket team. Now, the Indian side described this meeting as a courtesy call where all issues of bilateral concern came up for discussion. The Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or the PTI, have said that Imran Khan discussed the need to restart dialogue between the two countries on all outstanding issues, including Kashmir. Khan also expressed hope that the SAARC summit would be held soon in Islamabad. The Pakistan ruling party said that following the phone call by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Mr. Khan, there was optimism that the relations could and would move forward. Now, after that meeting, the Indian High Commissioner said this in a tweet, quote, called on Imran Khan and his team today for a positive, constructive conversation. End quote. The comprehensive bilateral dialogue process, as agreed upon in 2015, has been stalled due to a lack of Pakistani action against suspects involved in the Pathankot and Mumbai attacks, as well as repeated cross-border raids by terrorists and state-backed terror groups. In his election victory speech, Imran Khan had reached out to India, saying that Pakistan expects improved trade relations with the country. He had also said that Pakistan will take 2 steps forward, or rather towards the resolution of issues with India, if New Delhi takes the first step. So it's official now. Former Indian cricketers Kapil Dev and Navjot Singh Sidhu have been invited for Imran Khan's inauguration. Khan will be administered the oath of office on the 18th of August. Imran Khan and his party, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, confirmed the date of the swearing-in as well as the invitation to the Indian cricketers this afternoon. These Indian sporting icons have been quoted as saying that they will attend the oath if invited.